window on the world. Yanomamo, the children of the moon. Fierce. The Yanomamo live deep in the rainforest of South America. In a region called Amazonia, on the borders of northwestern Brazil and south and southern Venezuela. One of their legends says that long ago, one of the first living creatures on earth shot the moon with an arrow. The blood of the moon fell to the earth and turned into the first people, the Yanomamo, children of the moon. Since they were born as a result of this battle with the moon, they called themselves the fierce people. The Yanomamo live up to this name. Villages are always fighting other villages, and people are always fighting each other too. When they're raiding another village, the Yanomamo men cover themselves with charcoal and poison the tips of their arrows. But afraid. Although they're fierce, the Yanomamo are afraid of a lot of things. Their enemies, evil spirits hiding in the jungle, in water, or the dark, the jaguar living in the forest. They're even afraid to point at the moon in case their fingers rot and fall off. The medicine man asks the spirits to guard them and to give them help when anyone is sick. He also asks the spirits to hurt their enemies, not worth much. Since she learned to walk, little girl, she doesn't have a name, went out with her mother to get firewood in a small basket on her back. She was always tired and her legs hurt, but no one noticed. Some girl babies are killed as soon as they're born. Little girls aren't worth much to the Yanomamo. One day, when she was only 4 years old, a man from another village asked little girl's father if he could have her to be his wife. In exchange, he gave her father a dog. Now little girl has to look after the men in her new family, gather the firewood, cook, and work in the gardens. She has to work hard, and she's often hungry. Living in one big house. A Yanomamo village is really like one big circular house with a big courtyard in the middle, and is called a Shabano. Each family collects trees, vines, and thatch from the jungle to help build the Shabano and cover the roof of their own section. The outside wall of the Shabano separates the village from the jungle, but there aren't any inside walls. If a Yanomamo person sees that someone else doesn't want to be disturbed, he acts like a ghost, like he's not really there, to give the other person privacy. People get in and out of the village through little holes left in the outside wall. Outside the village, the Yanomamo cut down the jungle to make fields for their maniac plantains, bananas, gourds, and sweet potatoes. The men hunt wild pigs, tapir, armadillo, and monkeys in the jungle for meat, while the women work the fields. Help for the Yanomamo. Until the 1940s, the Yanomamo didn't have much contact with the outside world. But when they did, a lot of them died from catching white man's diseases. More than 1,000 Yanomamo died in the 1980s when mercury, which was used by illegal miners to find gold, poisoned their rivers. Since then, both Brazil and Venezuela have set aside huge areas of rainforest, especially for the Yanomamo, so that other people can't hurt them. When the new tribe's mission came in 1950 to tell the Yanomamo about Jesus, they found many people who were sick. The missionaries helped them, prayed with them, and learned all they could about them. They also wrote down the difficult language, the difficult Yanomamo language. And now there's a Yanomamo New Testament. At first, only a few Yanomamo people seemed interested in hearing about God, the Great Spirit who loves them. But God is changing lives, and now there are about 300 Yanomamo Christians in Venezuela and more than 100 in Brazil. Some Yanomamo Christians are being trained to teach the people in their villages to read and write. And they'll also be part of the government's program to help the Yanomamo. Other Yanomamo, like Malaco, want to tell others about Jesus. He was only 8 years old when he decided to follow Jesus. Don't laugh at me because I'm small, he said. I want to tell everybody about Jesus. To help you pray for the Yanomamo, you can thank God for the New Testament in Yanomamo. You can thank God for those who are teaching the Yanomamo health care, reading and writing. You can thank God for church leaders, evangelists, and Sunday school teachers. You can ask God that the Yanomamo Christians will tell others about Jesus. You can ask God to show the Yanomamo that when they believe in Jesus, they don't have to be afraid of the spirits. You can ask God to help the Yanomamo Christians speak out against fighting and the terrible way women and girls are treated. You can ask God that the Yanomamo will understand that God created them to be good, not fierce. Fact file: countries: southern Venezuela, northwest Brazil. Numbers: about 23,000. There are about 23,000. There are probably 15,000 in Venezuela. Religion: animism. Occupations: farming and hunting. And our other box here is, you can speak Yanomamo. Where are you going is weedy weedy ha my wa hu. Weedy ha my wa hu. Did you arrive is wawa lo ki ku fawa. Wawa lo ki ku fawa. And are you healthy is wa di mi tawa. Wadi mi tawa, or wadi mai tawa.